that. For that. Ain't nobody got time for that. For that. For that.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What is going on with you tonight? Welcome to the Saint and the Aint podcast. We are delighted to be with you on tonight. Co-host, brother Torian Bean. We are back. It is Monday, 8-ish. Ran into a little minor technical difficulties, but it's another Monday. That means we are back with the Saint and Aint podcast. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I just had a great vacation, and I woke up this morning a little bit under the weather, but I'm pushing through. I am
All right,
here.
all right. Listen, we both had a time of vacation. What did you do on your vacation? Oh, I think we lost your microphone. No, you completely out. Uh-oh. Yet still with the technical. We're going to get through it as y'all coming in. Nope, we hear nothing. I heard you at the beginning. Now you are completely out. I'm telling you, man, technology it'll fail, and just like that, just went out from out of nowhere. Just went out. Let me see. We can bring her back in and kind of figure it out. I talk a little bit about my vacation. Took a trip to Mexico. Me and the lovely missus. It was kind of a combination of birthday and anniversary. As you all are coming in the room, birthday and anniversary. Had an amazing time, really, there in Mexico. Learned a little, was able to use a little bit of this habla español, able to convert some of this US dollars to pesos. And so we just had a good time. Trying to see. Oh man, we still, my co-host is out for the count. I don't know what is going on. Been hearing him fine, and just like that, he just went out. So that was my meet. As you all are coming in, let us know how your week was. What happened this week? We're gonna dive into what's been happening in the country. We both been out. We're trying to work through these difficulties. Bean, are you there? Let's see if we can hear you. Nope. All we see is lip movement. We might have to do this show in sign language. I don't know if you could disconnect the mic and go with another form of a microphone. Just was working just fine. Listen, I know what it's like to have a lot of technical difficulties. Worked through it right before we got on the air, and boom, it just went out. So y'all tell us what happened during y'all week as we get on. As you said, I went to, and I think my mic went out. All right, I think I'm back. Yeah, I think I'm back. My mic went out as well. So I don't know what's going on. Can everybody hear? I don't think you can hear me. I can hear you. Just let me know. Can you only hear me? Put in the chat if you can only hear me. Let me know. I think our co-host is yet still out. But listen, I had a great time in Mexico, and now we're looking forward to talk about all of the great things that is happening in our country. I went out for 1 week. I went out for 1 week, and everybody and the whole world shut down. The whole world shut down. I think we lost our co-host. We're trying to get him back. Um, I might need a substitute co-host. We gonna figure this out. He gonna kind of figure it out some kind of way. Because he trying. All we see is language. But we had a whole crazy government shutdown. But I really want to get right into it. But I want to kind of talk to somebody. Might have to bring in somebody else to talk to as we get it figured out. I don't know what the heck is going on. He may have to call in or use his phone or something. I don't know what's going on. Uh, the phone is out. Can you use your other? Can you use your other mic to the device? Can you use your iPad mic? Can you use anything other than the mic that you have? I don't know. Can you take the earpiece off? Can you? You can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. You can hear me, but we cannot hear you. So I don't know. We got to try to figure it out. At least you know this is a live show. But listen, I want to jump right into it, man. Um, Biden decided to drop out of the race. I want y'all to put in the chat what y'all feel about that. President Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race. We've been hearing some tea leaves of this ever since the debate. It seems like things have been going downhill for the 46th president of these United States of America. And while I was away, we discovered that he has decided to bow out. Stefan said he did the right thing. Do we think that it was pressure? Do you think, where did he get his pressure from? Because initially he said he wasn't going to do it, and then he did it. So what do y'all think he got pressure? Did he get pressure to do it? If you thought he got pressure to do it, tell me where you think he got pressure from. Um, and I'll kind of give you my opinion as well. Nancy said he did it right. It's too much for him. Yeah, I don't know what the final um, straw was. After the debate, he still kind of made a few more blunders. Um, he definitely he called. We said on last week he called his vice president instead of saying Kamala Harris. He called her Trump. So it's been kind of going downhill for him. And so, no, man, you still out. So it's been kind of crazy. It's been a crazy week. So he has decided to drop out of the race, which means that we will have a different president. We're going to talk about if it's going to be the same one we've had before, but we definitely will have a different president. I think this is the first time in history that we've had a sitting president rerun to be president after a loss. So that's going to be interesting as well, because Trump is now seeking, of course, re-election after he was defeated, had a 4-year reprieve. And so now he's trying to get back at it. A lot of it had to do with age. For some reason, Trump age doesn't matter, at least in his mind. He doesn't think it matters. But nevertheless, he did it. You know, He said didn't even tell his team about it. Said, I've been away. So I think he shocked the world. I think he shocked the world. And nobody knew he was going to drop out. I honestly think that he did it for the good of the country. I think he did it for the good of himself and his family. And obviously, I think we can all say in all honesty, he does have some cognitive issues that are going on. Try to restart the whole thing. Just restart it. We're gonna knock you out. Just restart the whole thing. Maybe that will work. Get all the way out and come back in, and maybe that will work. We're gonna see. I think he absolutely did the right thing for himself as well as the nation. Now, here's my issue with that. You all can kind of tell me what you think about this in the chat. I think that I don't mind what he did, right? think he ultimately did what was best for everybody involved. But here's my issue. My issue is I think that whatever's going on with him was definitely not a surprise, right? As a matter of fact, if we remember, a lot of the same things, even Trump and others insinuated 4 years ago. Remember Sleepy Joe, remember him hiding in the basement, remember all that kind of stuff. A lot of that dealt with the fact that they didn't think that he had the capacity to run at the level that he should. Now, he's been able to do some things. Of course, he has not been as visual of a president that we've seen. He's kind of been, taking his shots hit and miss throughout these 4 years. Now, COVID had a lot to do with it. Of course, we were not as visible as first couple of years, but I think that some of these issues were not new issues, that he's had these issues, which is why he was hesitant to run in the first place. I think one of the only reasons he ran was because, and it turned out to be true, that he felt that he was the only one that could probably beat Trump. So he actually succeeded at that. But here's my issue. My issue is that he didn't have a plan, that I'm not going to say we, because I'm not a part of that party of his camp, but there was no strategy. There was no plan. The Democratic Party did not have a plan. If there were issues about his health or about his cognitive ability 4 years ago, those issues are not going to go away. He's not going to miraculously get better. He's aging, just like any of us who are going to be his age one day. My issue is, and I believe this is true for both parties, but particularly the Democratic Party, why didn't they have a plan? Why was there no plan in place? Where is the up and coming? We're going to talk about his vice president, but where was somebody in the pipeline? Why was there no backdoor strategy meetings to say, okay, if we feel, let's have a meeting with our listen, President Joe, you ain't got it. While we haven't seen him as the United States of Americans haven't seen him, other people in the party, other senators, other people behind the scenes have seen him in this state. The question I want to raise tonight is, why was there not a plan? Why was there no plan in place? Why at the midnight hour have we come to this regime? Now, I will say again, I don't think it was a plan for either political party. I believe that there are many Republicans that are forced to endorse Trump and support Trump simply because they have no other choice. But guess what? They didn't have a plan either. My bold question is, how in the world in 2024, with as much progressiveness and innovation and all of that in this country, why is it that America has to choose between two 80-year-old men? How could that possibly be? I don't want to use the word white. They happen to be two white men. But the question I want to raise is, how in the world could the Democratic and the Republican parties end up at this moment? I want to ask that. Maybe you've got an opinion. Where is the up and coming person? Who's in the pipeline? Who was next? Why is it that, I'm a pastor and I see this a lot in church too. Why is it that so many people have a problem with letting it go? Man, just let it go. Let some young person have it. Who's the next young Obama? Who's the next up and coming person? Neither party has a plan. Because if Trump wins, he can't run anymore. So it's just going to be open, right? But there is no plan in place. There's no strategy in place. So this country is not being governed properly. This country is not, the country had, the leadership of this country obviously has no plan of progress. Someone, Brandon says this, everything that's going down, this shows that the best or most qualified aren't the ones to get to be the president. There are more qualified people, but they have to scratch and fight to even get a chance. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. That no matter what you say and no matter how you may like it, this country has an affinity with older white men. That's not a racist comment. To me, it's a factual one. That for whatever reason, as many successful women, as many successful men, young, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whomever, for whatever reason, in our political space, this country still has an affinity with older white men. We see it in Biden, we see it in Trump, we see it in Mitch McConnell, we see it in half of the senators in Washington, D.C. right now. And the question is, why? Why can't women lead in 2024? Why can't more African Americans lead in 2024? Why can someone younger than 60 lead in 2024? Because President Obama checked a lot of boxes. We know he checked the race, but he also was able to check the age box. Obama is just now in his 60s. But can you think about that? President Obama served 8 years. He's been out of office for 8 years, and he's in his 60s. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? But the men who are running now are will be in their 80s. So what has happened is now we're at this crossroad. We're at this crossroad that, listen, the country on one side, on one political party, is forcing us to change. Now, the question is, will it happen? Now, I've been thinking about this. I thought that Biden should have done this a while ago. But if you're a Kamala Harris fan or individual, here is why what he did is going to help us or help her. Here's why what he did help her. Because the timing of what he did is the only, put in the chat if you agree, is the only reason she has a chance. Like and tag and join others in this conversation. With Biden dropping out of the election, the moment he did, at the midnight hour, that is the only reason Kamala has a chance. So for some people who may not understand, Biden actually did her a favor. So don't you ever again say that Biden ain't do nothing for black folk, because he at least did something for one black girl. Because trust me when I tell you, if they had if he had done this 2 months ago, they would have ran her out of town. That's right, Harris. It's a power move. The old man, he had some sense. He might not be all there, but he's some there. He got some left. He got some left because if they have no other choice, they have no other choice. It's 2 weeks before. It's 2 weeks before the convention. So, like it or love it, if she's the only chance we got, she's next in line. She's already there. We ain't got no time to find nobody else. Like it or love it, you got to support her. So at the end of the day, he gave a black woman the opportunity. She is on the doorstep of leading this country. And the only reason why she has this chance is because of the timing of the dropout. When I thought about that, I said, man, you know what? I may have to think of this. That's why he did it the way he did it. Nobody knew. I think the only person that knew about him dropping out was going to be him, his wife, and Kamala. Nobody were the only 3 that knew. Because if anybody else had have gotten wind that he was going to drop out, there would have been backdoor meetings as to who's going to be next, because it cannot be her. You got to remember, a lot of the Democrats didn't even want Hillary, a white woman. So if they didn't want to wrap their arms around a white woman, you got to know that they would never want to have to support a black one. Think about that. Because you got to remember that this country has an affinity with white men in power. Whatever. And I think that's on both sides, Democratic or Republican. Somebody said about 10 to 13. No. I don't know who might have known. I don't think many people knew. I saw something with Nancy Pelosi last week saying that she don't think she could support Kamala. And this was before it happened. For several reasons. One, we've already seen the country not support a white woman. We've seen that already. Number 2, some are saying that she's going to be tied into Biden's administration. So however you want to look at it, it was still a power move. And this is the best shot. She has a really good chance. You know why she has a really good chance, you all? Like it or love it, because she's got something that Hillary didn't have. She's got the divine 9. Let me tell you something. I know there's a movement, especially in Christendom, that's trying to deactivate and defunct the divine 9, and however you want to feel about that. But let me tell you something. The divine 9 has power. If you don't believe it, overnight while I was in Mexico, I was in Mexico on vacation with 2 divine 9 members, and they stopped the vacation, y'all, to get on a Zoom call. In Mexico, to get on a Zoom call to support Kamala Harris. Yes. And in less than 20 might go out too, y'all. There we go. I think we're back. Am I back? I don't know what's going on. Technology is really filling our country last few days. I was on vacation with some AKAs, and they saw what they were doing. And they got on a Zoom call to be with the Divine 9. And they raised $40 million on that call. on that call. And in 2 days, they've raised $80-something million. That's power. That's what Hillary didn't have. She didn't have. Yeah, it was 40,000 people on that call. 40, do you hear me? 40, I don't know what kind of Zoom plan they had. Because my little church Zoom plan we got only about 1,000. Head of CEO increased the limit. They have 40,000 people on that call. 40,000. That's what Hillary didn't have. She didn't have that. So with the Divine Nine support, she has a chance. And she going to need it. Because last week we told you Elon Musk giving $45 million a month to Trump. So the Divine Nine, I'm not a part of the Divine Nine. My co-host is, y'all, hey, Divine Nine, y'all got to come through. You got to come through. You got to come through. If you want your girl to win, got to come through, man. So it's gonna be interesting next 2 weeks. I'm sure we're gonna talk more about it. But hey, one thing about it is she got a chance. And it was Andrew Gillum who said this. He said when he was running for governor, my mama said, all you got to give me is a chance. And I wish my co-host here because we'll talk about his chance. You talk about somebody who blew it. He blew his chance. But he ran on that statement. My mama said, all somebody owe you is a chance. She got a chance. And I believe Biden dropping out and Kamala being in the position she in is going to be the same level of momentum that Trump had, but without some of his ear. Yeah. I think Kamala's going to have the same momentum going into her convention that Trump had in his convention. The only difference is she's going to have both of his ears. She's going to have both of her ears. And I'm not. Why are the microphones keep going out? It went out again, but we're back. We haven't seen this energy from Democrats since Obama gave us hope. Absolutely right. So it's all about the momentum. It's all about the momentum. She's got momentum. She's got like it or love it. You gotta support me. You can like me, you can love me, but guess what? You gotta support me. Man, that I wear a shirt in the convention. Going into the convention, you can like me, hate me, love me, but guess what? You gotta support me. Now, what we're gonna see, this is gonna be the next time we see black votes matter. Black women votes matter. Now, I don't want let's bookmark this. Let's bookmark this. Because remember, we have history now. This is the second female that's running. Both ran against Trump, right? Let's bookmark this, black people. Both ran against Trump. If Kamala Harris wins, if she wins, we can't ever hear the statement again that black people's vote doesn't matter. Number one. Secondly, what we can't ever do again in the history of our existence is to allow that vote to be taken for granted. Are y'all hearing me? Put in the chat. Because look at how it's lining up. 2 women running against the same man. One lady, she came close, couldn't pull it off. If Kamala Harris is able to pull it off, the only reason she'll be able to do it is because she's going to have more black votes, and especially black women vote. So we can't ever, ever say again that black people votes don't count. So if we discover that they really do count, we can't ever allow that vote to be taken for granted. And that goes for everybody. We got to understand, as people that look like me, the historical impact that this election can have on moving forward in this what quote unquote black agenda, if you want to say that there's a need for one. Because black people could say that we've gotten 2 people elected. So we get to bring our collective voices and votes to the table, to anybody. If the Democrats don't want to hear it, if the Republicans don't want to hear it, we may have enough power to get a third candidate elected. Listen to me carefully. You need to hear me. We need to raise up a generation. This is a litmus test. This is a voting scientific experience that we have power. So we cannot allow any party to take that for granted, because we'll begin to say, without us, we've got facts that without us, you will not get elected. So between the momentum that Kamala has because of the timing of Biden, and we got to keep putting this on the table, as my co-host said, the 2025 project. I believe those 2 things right there is going to be enough to push some things over the ledge. And I don't, we don't make this a political show. We talk about what's happening, what everybody's talking about. That's what everybody's talking about right now. So the momentum of Kamala being that you don't have a choice, and Project 2025, those 2 things right there may be enough to push her in. And man, that would be absolutely crazy. That means that Project 2025 may be the worst thing that the Republicans could have ever done. They would have been better. They would have been better if you're a Republican, because, I tell people all the time, I lean right in the middle. A lot of things about conservative policies I agree with. A lot of things about, Democrat policies I agree with. But if I want to be honest, if I was a staunch Republican, I would say, boy, that's the worst thing we could have did. If I was Tim Scott or somebody else in that room, I'd be like, brothers, that's the worst thing we could have done. We done woke those Negroes up. We should have let those sleeping dogs lie. They would have slept with Biden. But now they are wide awake. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. They got the Divine Nine, and they got all week long, they're going to be talking about this Project 2025. We should have shut up. We shouldn't have never let that cat get out the bag. I believe it's going to be enough. But you know what? No, we got to hope don't happen. We got to hope on November, when is the election? November 4th? We got to hope what happened the other day doesn't happen on November 4th. Because, man, we got the kiss of death. We got the kiss of death. We got the blue screen, man. I thought I was the only one that ever had the blue screen. Anybody else, Anybody ever seen this? Anybody, if you got a Microsoft, I know all you, you Mac people, this is y'all time to shine. That's when I don't fool. But man, this is the blue screen of death. If you got a Microsoft, you know what this means. That is the blue screen of death. And guess what? I have had that blue screen of death. And the other day, the whole country got the blue screen of death. We better hope that doesn't happen on November 4th. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen on November 4th, to be honest. That might have been a test. Here I go over conspiracy theory. That might have been a test. Let's see how much we can really shut this thing down. Man, how scary was it? I wasn't in the States. But I really thought the Lord was blessing me because I did get an email saying all the flights were canceled. I was telling my wife, look, honey, this is the Lord. This is the Lord's doing. He's causing us to stay a few more days. We can't even fly out of here. And by the time it was time to come back, they had done fixed it. So I'm not going to tell you I didn't cry a little bit. I did cry a little bit because I thought I was going to get a few free days of vacation. But nevertheless, what happened, man? It shut everything down, right? It shut the banks down, shut flights down, shut hospital down. Man, that's a scary, scary thought to know how quickly everything can shut down, man. As much as we love technology, that helps us to realize how fast everything can come to a screeching halt. Oh, those Apple fans, they coming. Oh, they coming. Oh, they coming, man. They are coming. Oh, Team Apple. Team Apple is on the rise now. But this cybersecurity thing is interesting, man. We got to be careful with how much, we live in a world now where you can't not give out your information. Every single thing we do, we got to give out our information. It's just the way of the world. But when we see things like this, it causes you to think, what the heck is all this information going? And how quickly can things get shut down? I mean, I was getting an email saying, somebody logged into Microsoft, somebody used your Microsoft, and I'm saying to myself, what is going on? I was out of the country, so I wouldn't watch. You don't go on vacation and watch the news. I didn't care what was going on in America. But I kept getting his emails, and Lord, somebody had hacked my account and was getting stuff from my bank, and I kept getting, improper. Tell me if you got this. My bank was sending me debit card declined because of an improper PIN. I got that email. What is going on? I'm scrambling thinking I lost but that did let me know if I'm getting that email, maybe somebody got my card. I ain't worrying about that. They gonna give me some money. They try to use it. They like, well, we picked the wrong card. We're gonna give him back some money. I hope they wasn't going nowhere past McDonald's. But that thing was scary, man. To know how easily this country can be shut down. What y'all think, man? Y'all think it was a test? You think it was just a little, a little hitch, I don't know, man. Because this has happened. Remember, I think last year before last, it happened. So I'm like, man, are we really in the last days? That's the question, man. Are we really in the last days? I'm not sure, man. But all I know is Bill Gates, Bill, I don't know what you're doing. You need to tighten up. Some of Delta flights still out. You need to tighten up. Bill, I know you like you and your wife got a little thing going on, and she don't mind if you be with other people. You must be out there too much. Bring it back, Bill. Bring it on back in. Get back on your job. Because you scared everybody. You can't be doing that to us, man. Don't try that again. Wake up. Get out get away from them and come back and do your job. Man, this team PC. Don't let me down, man. Team PC, I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for you. You letting Apple, you keep this up. And yeah. Steve Jobs rolling over in his grave right now laughing at you, man. Steve Jobs is rolling over in his grave laughing at you right now. You you better tighten up, Bill. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You better tighten up. Better tighten up. Tighten up now. Listen, man, we gonna get y'all out of here. Technology affected us again. Couldn't have my co-host on. So I had to ride this wheel all by myself tonight. But you know what? It's okay because I had y'all with me. But I do have one more thing I want to talk about. What is it I said I wanted to talk about? Oh, here's what I want to talk about. LeBron James. I thought y'all said the boy didn't have it. I thought y'all said LeBron James was washed up. 2 games in a row. I know it's been exhibition, but 2 games in a row. This boy, Stephon, your team who you been trying to get, this boy has put the USA team on his back. The team that got Ant-Man, the team that got Steph Curry, the team that got Embiid, the team that got Bam Adebayo, the team that got all these good players. The team that got, the 2 from Boston, all them boys, Jason Tatum, all them. They need the old man, LBJ, to carry him on his back. I don't know. Old man still got it. You can like him or love him, but he still got it. He still got it. I know KD is hurt. I know that. I know. But listen, LeBron shouldn't have to do this much work in an exhibition game. Come on now. I know they supposed to be a shoe-in to win this goal. But, hey, y'all better put some respect on LeBron James' name. The man still got it. I don't even know why y'all hate LeBron anyway. The man is good, all right? If he's not Jordan, so what? The man is great. Everybody who's watching this right now, if God came down from heaven and said, you can have LeBron James' career, and whatever you do, you can be the LeBron James of whatever you do, you will sign your name on the dotted line. The man is good. And he's proven that he still got it. So, if you're a Laker fan, you realize it's not him. It's not him. Now, he not a good. He is like, okay. This is good. Stephon, this is good. You just said something. Because I think we're seeing it in real time. He doesn't like the team he handpicks. You know who else had that problem? Y'all GOAT. The one y'all say the GOAT, MJ. He couldn't pick a team to save his life. Every one of them teams he had at Charlotte was trash. You know what that means? When you are great, remember, LeBron James was the same guy that convinced Miami Heat. What's that point guard name? Y'all know he convinced them to get him in the draft. Great players usually make horrible GM GMs and coaches. You want to know why? Because every great player thinks that everybody is them. That's the problem. When you're that great, you assume that greatness comes naturally. So therefore, you are so enamored with someone's talent, you think that they have the same work ethic and the dog and the same ability, and you kind of realize that they don't. So MJ teams were never good because he couldn't realize that there's only one Michael Jordan walking around the planet. And for LeBron, he may see it in his son. Even though you have my name, you're not that great. Great players, I'm talking about the great, not the average or the mediocre. That's why you usually see like role players or bench players, they make great coaches. You know why? Here's why. Because they could not use their gifts to make it to where they are. They had to use talent and knowledge. So they usually are great studiers of the game. They know the game. They had to do very different things to get to that level. Somebody like LeBron James, who was born with the talent and the, yes, he had to put in the work, he had to do all that, but everything he's done came natural to him. Most guys that are on the end of that bitch had to fight through the G League and through other avenues in the NFL or whatever sports. Those are usually the guys that make great coaches or GMs because they had to get it through the back door. So LeBron James is proving that he's not going to be a good talent. He's not going to be a good talent person. Don't make him your talent person. Don't do that. He's not going to be good on talent personnel. He's not going to do it. Don't make him a GM. He's looking like he might be the owner of the LA team that they're trying to put in Las Vegas. But hopefully he'll learn from LeBron's mistakes. Hopefully he'll learn from. I wanted to talk about this. Maybe we'll do it next week. Hopefully he would learn from Michael Jordan and Tyler Perry. Man, let somebody help you, man. We're going to talk about that next week. Let somebody help you, because I'm telling you, man, I haven't seen some of the latest stuff yet, but y'all have been killing Tyler. And the number one thing is, man, and now, I want to really talk about this next week, the love and hate relationship everyone has with Tyler Perry, because they love the fact that he's helping people and what he's doing and all of that. But for whatever reason, they hate the fact that he's got some wardrobe and some makeup and some writing issues. Okay. So we're going to talk about that next week. Bookmark that. We're going to talk about that next week, that love and hate relationship, and how it's hard to duplicate greatness. And I think that happens in every walk of life. Like when you're really that good, when you're him, when you're that dude, that you're just great, it's hard. It's hard to try to duplicate that. It's hard not to understand why somebody just don't get it, man. You just don't get it. Why does this not come natural to you? All right, man. Listen, that is our time. Megan Good did terrible in that movie. Somebody say T-Boo was catching up. Megan did terrible in that movie. She did. I used to think Megan Good was that girl. Uh, I can't say all the other stuff I thought because I got a ring on my finger. So I'm not gonna tell y'all everything I felt about Megan Good. But this is the Saint and the Ain't show, so you could probably figure it out. All right. Hopefully next week we'll work out some of these technical issues and I have my co-host back. But this episode still counts. It still counts. Y'all rolling there with me. Y'all rolling there with me, and I thank you for that. Beam, man, we gonna work on the mic situation. I don't know what happened. My mic went out a couple of times too. I don't know what's going on, man. What's going on with this technology? Are we in the last days? I don't know, man. But listen, thank y'all for riding with the Saint and Aint podcast. Do me a favor. Like if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, follow the channel. We thank you so much for the hundreds of people that have liked it and followed it so far. We want to get that up, to the thousands. So I need y'all to help me to do that. All right. Help me to do that. Get it up. We're gonna be putting out more content. We're gonna be bringing some of you on the roll with it. Man, this is a group discussion. One thing about this podcast, we're gonna get your input too. And if you want to hop in on the Saint and the Ain't podcast for episode inboxes, man. If you got good dialogue, good content, we'll roll with you, man. The more, the merrier. I'm telling you, we do this podcast for the people. We do it for you guys. All right. That's my time. Thank y'all so much. We'll see next week how much Mo Kamala has raised. We'll talk about some Tyler Perry and we'll talk about whatever else is going on